Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth Smith. I want to tell you about an extraordinary form of location astrology called astrocartography. When we're born, every location on Earth is programmed by planetary influences that are unique to us, that will shape our life experiences if we live there or travel there, or even if we interact remotely or directly with people, events, and objects that originated there. By looking at your astrocartography map, what we do is we find out where those planetary influences are on the Earth and what area of your life they will become influential in. They can affect everything in your life, from your career to your relationships, both personal and professional, to your quality of your health, to your mental well-being and emotional well-being, and everything else in life that you can think of, because they are a naturally occurring influence over our lives that we interact with all the time in the dance with nature that's taking place in this web of life that we're born in. So people often think of being connected with nature as, what am I eating and what kind of quality of air do I have and how clean are the oceans, and all of those things, of course, are massively important to life being sustained and to having quality. However, in modern times, we've forgotten, for the most part, the fact that the planets and the sky and all of the activity there is also intimately interacting with and helping to create the quality of our lives. So by becoming aware of your astrocartography, you get to choose places to go, whether temporarily when choosing where's the best place to go for that, retreat vacation, or that honeymoon where you want romance, or where's the best place for your chronic health problem to be resolved, or where's the best place for your sluggish business to pick up and get a little help. We can find all of those places where you will get that kind of stellar support on the Earth in a very practical manner. Astrocartography has only been around since 1976, when a brilliant astrologer named Jim Lewis found a way through computer programming to put this whole astrological view of the world on a global map. And before that, and now also, you could always do something called a relocated natal chart, which is more similar to an astrological birth chart, if you've seen yours, which is a round map of the sky, essentially. But the limitation of that system is, and people have used it for hundreds of years to look at it, a place to see what the astrology would be like if they were to go there. The limitation of it is that you can only look at one place at a time, and you have to know what that place is before you can pull up that chart, before you can create it, because it's dependent on the longitude and latitude coordinates of the location in order to calculate the chart and see the influences. The beauty of what is happening now with astrocartography is that you can see the whole world at a glance. And this is very time appropriate, because one of the big issues facing many global citizens today is that they have many options of where to work or where to travel or where to explore, or for whatever reason you want to change locations, and yet they're not sure where to go. They don't know where the best place is. And having too much choice can be sometimes as big a problem as not having enough choice. So astrocartography, I help people every day to narrow down their choices and to see what kind of energetic patterns are most likely to unfold. What will be supported? How can you enhance your financial life, and how can you be in an environment where Jupiter or the Sun, planets that are associated with success and notoriety in your career, being noticed, where can you go where those will be angular, which is very strong? And we can get very specific, but also, even if you don't want to change your location, which many people don't or they can't, People have families, lots of people are dug in a certain locality, and you can't just pick up and move. Or you might be tired of moving, or you might have something really good going on in an area and you don't want to give that up even though you're not happy in another part of your life. All of these are very common now. So the astrocartography is not just good for seeing where you'd be happier or where you'd thrive better somewhere else, because that can be, as frustrating as anything if you're not able to go there, or if you don't want to go there, if it's not a culture that you resonate with or whatever. Astrocartography is also an incredible tool for improving your relationship to the planetary influences that you are under right where you are. It's also helpful for seeing how planetary influences are shaping the dynamic of your relationship. A lot of relationships are improved and saved by understanding the what's going on planetarily. Suddenly you begin to see that your partner is actually playing out something that you are attracting in your own your own planetary map. So this is all part of the dance of life rather than it just being this person's fault. Great tool in relationship for restoring harmony. You suddenly get the big picture. People use this for reviving their physical strength, for getting out of depression, anxiety, insomnia. All of these things have planetary components. The planets have very much to do with our bodies and our health, as well as our mental and emotional well-being. There's just no end to the things that people use this for, and you can use it remotely as well, because as I mentioned earlier, we are affected. The astrocartography of our map will come through a person who is born in another location. And no matter where the two of you are presently, if a person is born in Paris, the astrocartography influences that you have in your map over Paris are going to become activated if you become closely connected with them, whether professionally or personally. And so there's that whole component in terms of things coming to you from other locations that can be so helpful and resolve so many mysteries about why things are maybe you're not thriving in certain areas of your life. There are many, many components. Astrocartography is a complex, beautiful, mystical science, and it's very, very practical as well as magical. And that's the beauty of it, is it's connecting our relationship with the real world, with the earth, the material plane that we all have to work with, and these higher energies that are invisible to our eyes, but very much affecting our lives 24/7. So now we can have a conversation. We can engage with those energies because we suddenly, for the first time, know what they are. And that's the beginning of living a conscious life and making the best choices and the best decisions. So for the first time in history, people are mobile in a way they've never been before. In the past, people who were very upwardly mobile, as they say, people who were wealthy and had a lot of opportunity and privilege have always been able to travel the planet. And then people who were on the opposite scale of society, people who were enslaved and refugees and disenfranchised, have been forced to leave their homeland. But fast forward to now, everyone is moving around everywhere for all different reasons. Some of them voluntary, some of them involuntary. But there is mobility on our planet thanks to the arrival of the Aquarian Age, which rules mobility and the development of the individual, and everything that we're seeing now with the technology revolution and constant change and equality coming into the mainstream of society. All of these things are Aquarian in nature, and that's going to get stronger and stronger. And so it's likely that mobility is going to become more and more of a part of people's lives. And in my view, nature has given us this incredibly practical tool for making good choices, because it's great if not only if you say, well, I really like Paris and I think maybe I'll try living there and getting a job there. Well, you might do great, you might thrive. It's a beautiful place, the food is wonderful. However, if your personal astrocartographic influences, your planetary download in that area is not helpful, then you are much less likely to thrive. You will know how to work better with those planets because you're aware of them and you know their nature and you know how to awaken their light side and rather than their more ominous, troublesome side, because you're engaged more with them. But you won't thrive the way you will if you go to a place where there's planetary influences that make it more accessible, make support available from the level of the sky. So we're interacting all the time with nature, and the more we know about nature's nature, the better off we are. In other words, if you get into a kayak on a river that has a lot of tumultuous waves or rapids, and you know all about the art of kayaking and all about that river and the course, you are much more likely to get to your destination and have a good time getting there in one piece than if you get in the kayak and you have no knowledge of the river or of the paddles or of the kayak and the art of kayaking. You need to have skills in order to thrive in nature. And the more skilled you are, the more likely you are to be able to get beyond just mere survival and to move into that realm of really thriving and being all that you can be and enjoying your life, which is what it's all about, right? That's why we're here. We're here to discover happiness and to enjoy this incredible, beautiful planet. And I know of no better way to do that and to have the best chance of doing that than to understand these planetary influences that are invisible and yet that we are interacting with every moment of our lives in every inch of this earth, no matter where we go. So expand your knowledge and support yourself in having this tool at your fingertips, and I think you'll find it to be quite an amazing addition to your life repertoire of self-love. I would love to hear from you. If you'd like to visit my website, I do readings and I teach people ongoingly about this work. My website is www.elizabethsmithastro.com, and there's a wealth of information there, and I welcome you to come and learn more. Thank you so much, and be well.